Okay, we've got a lot to talk about today, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Yeah, to start with, we have Chairman Comer, who is the chairman of the House Oversight Committee, talking about the new task force led by Anna Polina Luna. Specifically, he's talking about UAP. So let's give a listen to what he says about the task force investigating UAP.
We're going to evaluate everything that's released and try to figure out if there's more that they're sitting on or if there's evidence that's been destroyed. And then we're going to have hearings and talk about it. Anna Polina Luna is going to lead that effort. And I think it'll be the most interesting thing that Congress does, because every American's curious about what we call federal secrets that our government has kept from us, UFOs, things like that. You know, I don't know what the answer to those questions are, but I'm curious, and I know people in Kentucky are curious. So hopefully this will be an interesting task force that will answer a lot of questions that Americans have.
Well, I sure hope so, but I think that's actually really encouraging that he says this is the most interesting thing that the task force is doing, more interesting than JFK, more interesting than MLK, more interesting than, you know, all the other stuff that the task force is doing. Comer is psyched about what they are doing with UFOs. He says these are secrets the government has kept. He talks about possibly information being kept from the task force. I think that's very significant that he's expecting to get roadblocks. Anna Polina Luna has also talked about this, about the likelihood of meeting resistance to getting the files they need to give us disclosure. And, you know, again, I'm not expecting, you know, the whole shebang, but I'm hoping to get at least one good file. That's all I'm asking for the task force. There's one good file with dates and names and things that can be followed up on and vetted with pictures and videos. You know, one good file about a UFO crash retrieval. You know, who knows? We could even get more than that, but that's all I'm really hoping out of the task force is that one good file. But of course, they're going to get obstruction. They're going to get agencies not cooperating with them. I mean, why would they? They've never cooperated with anybody on this stuff. So it's really good that Comer is addressing that, and he seems to be aware of that. He says it very briefly, but I'll replay it.
We're going to evaluate everything that's released and try to figure out if there's more that they're sitting on.
Yeah, that there's more that they're sitting on. So I think that's very significant that he says that they are sitting on stuff, and that's not a great screen grab. But yeah, he seems excited about this, and I think that is really encouraging because he is the one that is going to give the task force subpoena power, apparently on a case-by-case basis. If he thinks it's warranted, he'll allow them to subpoena somebody. Or whatever they need to subpoena. So I think that's really encouraging that he is interested in UFOs. He is interested in getting to the truth or something closer to the truth about UFOs. And that speaks to him granting them subpoena power on that basis. Again, he's expecting them to hold stuff back. Anna Polina Luna is expecting them to hold stuff back. So we're going to need that subpoena power. I don't know how much that's going to do, but it'll be better than nothing. So anyway, I'm encouraged by his statements here. He seems really into it. Meanwhile, you may have heard about the president going to Daytona, but did you know there was a UFO that buzzed his plane? That's right. This was sent to me by Dr. Robert Shipe, of course, who has pioneered the research into what he calls the Dragon UAP, because at first he thought they were dragonflies, before his research convinced him something else was going on here. But yeah, check this out. Yeah, he was combing through the Daytona stuff, expecting to see something. And look at that. Got a beautiful Dragon UAP buzzing Air Force One as the president goes to watch the races. Great stuff, great capture, or at least a great analysis. Great find, I guess, by Dr. Robert Shipe of Custodian File. Everybody should go check out his channel. He has so many of these videos. He just does a great work identifying this really interesting sub-phenomenon of the UFO phenomenon, this category of small UFOs that buzz aerial vehicles. They seem to love our police and military vehicles, but, you know, and that's probably the case, but, you know, I do wonder if that's just because there's more eyes on those vehicles, and, you know, we're seeing it when they do that. But, yeah, there you go. Dragon UAP, apparently potentially multiple of them, buzzing Air Force One at Daytona. Really, really intriguing stuff. So yeah, everybody go check out Robert's channel, Custodian File, where he has a lot of great Dragon UFOs. Again, the small UFOs that buzz aerial vehicles. I don't know if they're doing surveillance or what they're doing. You would think that, beings would have more sophisticated means of surveilling than sending probes to buzz stuff. So I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something. Let me know what you guys think they're doing. Meanwhile, Ross Coulthart is talking about this guy who's doing research into a really interesting high strangeness area of Australia, where he's, capturing on camera all sorts of cool phenomenon like this thing. Some are trying to debunk this as a bird or a bat or something, but I don't think that's a bird or a bat, guys. I really don't. I think it's a great capture. The researcher talks about his struggles with getting his research published. He says that because he's not using a high frame rate camera that's like 1,000 frames per second camera, he's only using 30 frames a second camera. That he wasn't able to get his research published. I think that's really unfortunate. Hopefully this exposure by Ross will get him some extra money and he'll be able to get that good camera and get published, because I think he's capturing some good stuff. It's more than just this video. I encourage you to go watch the full interview on News Nation, and I'll link to it below. Really good stuff. Ross also has some further thoughts on this. He is letting us know that this area of high strangeness in Australia, well, it's an interesting location.
It's not a coincidence, I think, that this area of the Karijini Desert is very close to a major Australian base that's part of the US national deterrence. It's where communications are made with US nuclear attack submarines in the Indian Ocean. It's called the Harold E. Holt Naval Communications Station. So maybe, just maybe, this phenomenon is drawn to areas of national security interest. We just don't know. But
no, we don't know, but that's really intriguing, right? I mean, maybe it's just an area of high strangeness independent of anything that humans are doing, but maybe not. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Really interesting stuff. There's also some Skywatcher news. Skywatcher Part 2 data. The Skywatcher team has been hard at work over the last month, and we feel very confident in our recent progress. Skywatcher Part 2 will focus on exactly what everyone wants: data. Our release will involve 3 components. 1, a video interview and analysis of new UAP data captured by the Skywatcher team, and an elaboration on our data collection and analysis strategy moving forward. No, this is not cell phone footage. 2, a proposed stages of disclosure framework compiled by our team of advisors that we can collectively use to reference and gauge progress based on existing and future releases. 3, an independent analysis of the full data set conducted by a qualified third party. Our objective is to complete all 3 of these components in the next 4 to 6 weeks. This plan is subject to change, but this is our target. Well, I'm really excited about what Skywatcher can bring to the table. We have various, citizen-led efforts trying to bring about disclosure or something, push the ball along a little further. We've got the Soul Foundation, we've got, the Tedesco brothers, various other groups, UAP Disclosure Fund, all trying to tackle this subject. But I'm probably most excited about Skywatcher. They're actually trying to bring in UFOs and get data on that. And of course, there's other stuff that goes into the psionic abilities and, how they're doing this. Really exciting stuff. Of course, the proof is in the pudding, so we'll see what they're ultimately able to bring to bear. But really, really exciting stuff. Ross Coulthart says that investors are interested, and I'm really intrigued by the idea of business getting involved in UFO technology. I covered a story on that yesterday. Really interesting. What do they know that we don't know, that, they're actually spending money prepping this stuff? I don't know, but really interesting stuff. He also speaks to potentially members of the UFO control group. Once this stuff starts coming out, defecting into the public sphere so they can work on things publicly that they've already been working on privately. Really interesting.
And I mean, that's the exciting thing, is that, there's a real probability now that the materials science technology will be out in the public domain. And more importantly, what you'll see, and I've spoken to people in the legacy program who've told me they want to do this, as soon as they see a private enterprise company in a public way working on the materials science behind these objects, they're going to jump from the legacy program and come and help. They want to go and work. They might not go public, but they want to go and work for these new companies.
They want to work for the new companies that are investing in UFO technology. And, again, I don't know exactly what they're doing or how they're doing it, but it's really intriguing that they are positioning themselves to, start releasing stuff or developing stuff publicly regarding UFO technology. Really weird. And these control group guys who have been working on this stuff all along are wanting to help. I think that is super, super intriguing. In other Skywatcher news, it looks like Matthew Pines is coming aboard.
Yeah, and so in the interest of full transparency, I've just recently come on as a outside advisor to Skywatcher and Enya. So I have a formal relationship with them. So I just want to be clear about what I say, right, is not just me pontificating, but I've now have a formal connection with them. So everything I say, right, should be interpreted in that light. And I'm being brought in to help kind of frame out, at least from my perspective, kind of a larger strategy, right, associated with these efforts here. I'm certainly probably the least qualified person involved in that group. But I've come to know Jake and some of the other folks involved, and I only got involved, seriously, professionally, essentially, part-time, because I think that they have, the bona fides that they do have. And they're
Yeah, I think they do too. I think they are who they say they are, and I think they're doing what they say they are doing. I think there's a lot more to the story that they are not able to get into, but at least they are able to get into some of it, and they are doing some really interesting things. I can't wait to see where this story is going. I know a lot of people still, are on the fence about Jake Barber and his information and about the others that came out with him, or they're openly, skeptical of it. So let me know what you guys think. I think Jake is the real deal, and I can't wait to see where Skywatcher goes, but, that could just be me. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Meanwhile, Michael Salla is saying, fascinating to know that in 1988, the CIA was running remote viewing sessions on the headquarters of the Galactic Federation. Was this a genuine case of intel gathering or just a training exercise? Any links to this from Cab? If Galactic Federation wasn't real, the CIA wouldn't have been trying to remote view their bases with the Stargate program in 1988. Really intriguing that they were doing that. Of course, Daz Smith is not convinced. He says neither. It's useless for both because there is no feedback to assess any level of accuracy. And yeah, I mean, he's right. That's one problem with remote viewing. Of course, if you're remote viewing the moon, how do you corroborate that? Now, if you have a team of remote viewers under double-blind conditions that are all remote viewing the same thing, then there's some level of corroboration, right? They're getting that information somewhere independently of each other under double-blind conditions. That's corroboration to a large extent. Obviously, it'd be nice to have, eyes on that to be able to really confirm what they were seeing. But Daz was part of a team that did remote view the backside of the moon and was seeing stuff. And to me, and they were all seeing it. And to me, that's some sort of corroboration. But how can we corroborate, the headquarters of the Galactic Federation? I don't know. And I don't know if there were teams involved in this or if it was individual viewers seeing this stuff. The problem with an individual viewer seeing something is that it, can't be corroborated by other viewers. So, interesting stuff, at least, that the CIA was trying to remote view the Galactic Federation. I think that there does seem to be an organizing body to the beings that are coming here. And the reason I say that is because there's no Phoenix lights over cities during the daytime. There's no overt mass contact event. There's no disclosure. The phenomenon isn't giving us overt disclosure. They seem to be trying to wake people up gradually, like a grassroots kind of thing, like an organic awakening. But they're not like, going to the White House and landing on the lawn. They're trying to do like a bottom up thing instead of a top down thing, which I think is interesting. But whatever the case, there's no Phoenix lights over cities during the daytime. There's no overt disclosure. They seem to be operating by Star Trek's Prime Directive or some variation on that, which is really interesting. So all the different beings, and there's so many different beings coming here or that are already here, are all following the same playbook. Again, no overt disclosure. So, that seems to hint at some organizing body, right? They're all following by the same rules, even though there's different groups doing different things. So there kind of has to be something like the Galactic Federation, some organizing body or structure, or some rules they all follow. But what do you guys think? Ross speaks to some of those ideas here.
I think the NHI, whatever it is prodding humanity's awareness of itself. And I think that the so-called drones are part of that. Not all of it, but part of that. I think that what's happening is there is a deliberate engagement by the NHI with certain people. They're trying to prod human consciousness. And I find it really interesting, the number of people I meet who have suddenly developed an interest in the phenomenon after they've had one or two weird, anomalous encounters. It's like what's happening is the NHI is showing itself to people.
Yeah, well, it is showing itself to people. It does deliberately show itself to people. It's shown itself to me. I'm sure it's shown itself to many of you guys. It's fascinating. I do wonder if it's speeding up, if it's contacting more and more people and revealing itself to more and more people, again, as some sort of grassroots organic or semi-organic, because it is, outside influence. Disclosure effort, but again, more of a bottom-up disclosure instead of a top-down disclosure. I think that's probably what's going on, but it's kind of hard to say historically, how interactive the beings were with people. Were they always this interactive? Maybe they were more interactive. We don't have the stats on that, but, let me know what you guys think. Speaking of people the phenomenon is very interactive with, here's some captures by John Bell of Real Florida UFO, who goes out pretty much every night in his home in Florida and captures awesome phenomenon, interacts with, beings that he believes. Look at this awesome little orb. He calls that one Tinkerbell. Because it comes often and it's very playful. Although one time it actually hit his truck, going very fast, and rattled his truck on camera, and I did a video on that. You can go find that. But yeah, the phenomenon shows up for John all the time. Tinkerbell is the only one that he can see with his naked eye. The others he has to capture on IR cameras, which is really interesting. So Tinkerbell, very active, very interactive, and playful. And here are some good captures on Tinkerbell. And these are all compilations of Tink. Look at that. Great stuff from John Bell. Love it. Everybody should go check out his channel, Real Florida UFO. Ivy Masson is also tweeting about a really great sighting of anomalous craft. Now, the audio is not in English. And I don't have a lot of specifics on this, but it gets really juicy, guys. Let me just fast forward to where you can see the fleet. We get a fleet of UFOs on camera. All right, wait, let's go. There we go. Yeah, they're moving through the clouds. You can see multiple of these objects. All right, are they about to emerge from the clouds? Oh, there we go. There we go. Look at all that. Look at all that awesome UFO goodness. That's 6 or 7 objects moving in 2 groups of 3. Oh, and then there's an additional object. So maybe 8 objects. Hard to tell exactly. Are they all in the frame? Yeah, great capture. What is going on here? Oh, there's more of them. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, good stuff, guys. I think this is an amazing capture of what I think are likely UFOs. And maybe somebody will come along and debunk this. Yeah, a good posting from Jaime. Last but not least, this guy can fire his arrow around corners. Oh, look at that, guys. That is amazing. Yeah, wait for it. Both balloons. Damn. I could do that. I could so do that, guys. All right, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Discord, links below. Love to see you guys there. If you want to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, grab a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below, or become a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you so much. Also, channel members frequently get to see videos hours ahead of everybody else. Before I let you go, I did want to let you know I'm going to be making fewer videos this week because I'm going to an ayahuasca retreat this weekend, and I'm going to be trying to spend more time in meditation and quiet time and that sort of thing. So I'm going to be making fewer videos, maybe like one video a day, something like that. So, all of something really juicy drops, I'll have to cover it. So, but yeah, okay, there you go. Just wanted to let you know that. Have a great day. Plenty of other videos on the channel. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.